friends, and welcome to my crafty space where I normally share all of my memory keeping projects and processes with all of you. If you're new here, hello, welcome. My name is Krystal and I am so excited that you are here. Today we are doing something a little different than normal, and I am going to take you guys on a tour of my craft space. Before we get started though, there are a couple of things that I would like to mention. One is that my craft space is in the basement of our home. So our lighting is not that great. And I just want to apologize at the beginning to let you know, the light's not going to be super great, but we'll do our best anyway. And the second thing is that I share my crafty space with my kids' playroom. So it does mean that everything is pretty much put up and put away, but also that I'm working in a really small area. So if you have something like me, then maybe this will be helpful for finding some different ways of storing your stuff to keep it protected from your kids. Okay, so I'm going to get behind the camera and I will walk you around and tour you through this crafty area. Let's get to it. All right, you guys. So like I said, my craft room is in the basement. And it's tucked back in this little corner back here. We are super blessed to have a finished basement. So it's all carpeted and drywalled and everything. And it's nice. It just, the only light that we have in this basement is right there. And that is it. So hence the bad lighting. Now I do have a couple of areas down here that I claim as mine. This right here is my desk area. And I've got, this cube structure is from Target. It's a threshold. It is the same size squares as the Kallax from IKEA. It's just in a smaller version. I don't really have the space right now to get one of the big Kallax units, so I just have a bunch of these little ones. Now this one right here, you can see that I've got Izzy's desk. So this is Isabella's desk right here in her like art wall. Normally we clip up a bunch of artwork on these little clips here. This is from IKEA. It's one of their like curtain rods, which needs to be tightened. It looks a little loose. And then she's got some shelves that she puts her little guys on so that my son doesn't eat them. And then she's got her desk, her little crafty section right here. And then this half is hers. So that's like her papers, her art supplies. Like she knows that she can get into anything on this side of the shelf. At the top, I've got my We Are Memory Keepers typewriter, which I really love. I love this typewriter. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then I have this box right here, which is just where I keep like extra typewriter stuff and like sewing needles and things, or thread. So when I actually use this typewriter, I have to move that off because the slider in the back moves, but that's okay. And somehow I always end up with Legos here. Like, even though we got the little shelves, we still end up with Legos, but that's okay. Okay, so next I've got my 3 cubes here. So these are all of my Project Life albums. I started Project Life halfway through 2018. So my 2018 book only has a couple of spreads done in it. This one I've actually gone back in time and completed 2015, and then my goal is to get 2016 done hopefully next month. This one is 2019 and it is done, and this one's 2020, which as you guys know, I am caught up on that. This is just a traveler's notebook that I put some like Bible journaling type stuff in. And then down below that, I've got a bunch of my 6x8 albums. So 1 Week in the Life from last year, One Little Word from last year. This one is Izzy's story album. This one is Jonah's story album. And this one is a book that I have with planner stickers. So I used to do a lot of like planner, like happy planner type stuff, and then I don't do it so much anymore. So now I just took out the stickers that I knew I would use, and then I added them into this book, and I called that a day. So when I'm plannering, I pull that book out. And then down below that, I've got I've got a container here that's just got a bunch of pens and highlighters and all of those things. These, you're going to see a lot of these little containers. These are Sterilite small containers. I believe I got them at Target, but I think not Hobby Lobby. Meijer has them too. I don't know. We live in Michigan, which is where Meijer is from, so I don't know if Meijer is everywhere, but Meijer, Target, probably Walmart has them too. And then this box is from Hobby Lobby, and it is full of sequins. So anytime I'm doing shaker pockets or anything like that, I get into the sequins bin. This is Isabella's scrapbook. So she did December Daily this year, but then she also has just a book where she makes her own pages whenever she feels like it. So this is her scrapbook. I believe I got that on clearance from Becky. It was a Becky Higgins, and I got it at like Joann's or something. Okay, so next to the cubes, I have this 6-drawer filing cabinet type thing from IKEA. It's really old. I believe they still make them though, but probably not in red. And then you'll see we have this mallet here, which is to keep my son out of those top 3 drawers. It works. It's kind of janky, but you know, it works. Okay, so top drawer is full of desk stuff. Nothing important. Second drawer has all of my paints. So this is all of my acrylic paints are in here. And then I've got my watercolors and then just other paint supplies. Below that is all of my punches. So I mostly have circles. That's, yeah, pretty much just circles. And then those 3 are the drawers that get locked up with the mallet. So he can't get into them. Below that, I have like, this literally has nothing because Jonah gets in it and destroys everything. This has like thank you cards and packaging, and it's a giant mess because, you know, Jonah. And then the bottom one just has yarn balls and like crochet needles, which, yeah, it is what it is. That's okay. Okay, so then we've got my computer. My computer is massive. My husband built it for me. He's in IT. That's what he does for a living. So we've got the tower down here, and my screen, I believe, is like 32 inches. So it's the size of a TV, a small TV. But I love it. I think it's amazing. And then up at the top, I have another one of those strings that when I do 12 by 12 spreads, which is not often, but when I do them, I will clip them up here and use them as artwork. And the idea is that eventually when I fill this whole thing up, which could take a while, then I can swap different ones in and out as I make them. So that is up there. And pretty much, I think that's it for desk area. This drawer, this desk is from Target. This drawer is just a giant mess. But it is where I've got like my embroidery floss is all in here. I've got cut files that I have cut out, but I haven't used them yet. Mostly that's it, right? It's just like yarns and stuff. Not yarns, embroidery floss. Okay, so next I have this thing. Which, let me see if I can show you the whole thing. So this is a wardrobe, a child's wardrobe from IKEA. And it is my favorite thing for craft organization because it looks nice, but also when you open it all up, it's got a lot of storage area. So this is where I keep most of my craft stuff, is right in here. You can see where there was a bar for hanging clothes because it is a wardrobe. And so I took that out and I just adjusted the shelves to how I wanted them to be. So up on top of it, I've got my sewing machine. And that is a bag of a Christmas craft that I need to put together, and a microphone that for voiceovers and stuff like that. I actually haven't had a chance to use it yet. I need to give it a try. That's on top. The next one, this shelf has all of my like big tools. So I've got this Xyron, a like little mini Xyron. I've got my Big Shot die cut machine. I've got a laminator over here. And then this is my toolbox, which has like it's got an envelope punch board in it. It's got my glue gun in it. It's got my labeler in it because I label everything. Oh gosh. Maybe I should just like get it out. You guys can see. Okay. Yeah, because everything for me is like in bins. Okay, so yeah, there we go. So envelope punch board. Oh, my heat gun. So that all goes in here. And then on the top section, I've got like my ink blenders. These are circle cutters that are from We Are Memory Keepers that my mom gave me. So that's cool. Embossing powders. Yeah, palette knives, fuse tool stuff. So all of the things that I would consider tools or that I wouldn't use very often, okay, would go in here. Okay, so shelf 2 has the majority of my scrapbooking things on it. So it's got my scoring board. This is all paper that I've had since high school. This is just like a organizer that I've had since high school. And it has like little folders in it, and I have them organized based on color. So kind of like rainbow color. And then I've got a bunch of the 12 by 12 iris containers. One on the bottom, this one on the bottom has all of my Halloween supplies. So I create an October daily album to document all of our like Halloween stuff. And so this is all the product that I keep for Halloween. Whatever I can fit in this bin, that's what I keep. Then this one has all of my 12 by 12 page protectors. And this one has all of my other sizes. So I've got 6 by 8. I also have 4 by 4 and 3 by 8. Inside of this bin, the 4 by 4 page protectors are in an old zip up pouch. And then the same thing with the 3 by 8. They're in a zip up pouch. So the only ones that are loose in here are these 6 by 8. Everything else is kind of sort of organized, kind of. Then I've got, well, maybe, let's see here. So I've got all of my stamp storage, which I purchase. Guys, this is really hard to film this in a small space. Okay, so I have 3 of these that are for stamps. They are from Target, from the bathroom section. And I use the Avery L sleeves, and then I just put on the top of them what they are. And then they go into this bin. So this has all of the companies that I do not subscribe to, if that makes sense. So it's got a bunch of like Ellie Studio. I've got Kelly Perky's. I've got like Recollection, Studio Calico. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. So these are like miscellaneous stamps. And then maybe I'll leave that out. So then I've got these little containers that are full of small embellishments. So like this one I'll pull when I'm working on Allie Edwards projects because they are all Allie Edwards pretty much embellishments. This one has all of my one little word embellishments. So when I'm working on that project, I just pull out this one. This holds all of my 6 by 6 paper pads, which I use for like backing photos or flip ups or things like that. Let's move these guys out of the way. Then under that, I've got my washi container. So this is all the washi I've got. Actually, I have some in a jar. But once I decide that I won't use that washi anymore, I then give it to Izzy and she uses it. So that works. And then under that, I've got my acrylic and wood veneer box. So this has all of my acrylics and all of my wood veneers. And that is that section. Then I've got one more like tower in here. Okay, just put all this stuff back. Okay, so these are all of those little Sterilite boxes again. And that's what I use to separate out embellishments. So like this, first of all, this was an old trail mix container that I used to put ribbons and trims in. I just got these and they don't fit. So I'm actually thinking I'm going to put these in my wrapping paper bins because I'll probably use them for that. Anyway, so I have a bunch of these. So each one has a different type of embellishment. Like this is all of my tiny word stickers are all in here. And I've got one that just has like washi stickers and label stickers. I've got one that's full of puffy stickers. So all the puffy stickers, hearts and titles and all of it. This one has all of my chipboard, which is starting to get bulky. I need to use some of that up for sure. And then I've got, this one is all of my tab stickers for making tabs. And the last one is just miscellaneous, random, themed type stickers. Under that, that box is practically empty. It does have some like containers for sequin mixes and that kind of a thing. But for the most part, it's pretty much empty. I never get in it. Okay. So that is section 2. Last but not least is the bottom. So this over here is a filing cabinet. That's got all of our like personal like bills and then also my daughter's artwork and stuff like that. So this is not scrapbook related at all. It just fits in here and it goes in here. These are more of the iris containers, but these ones have the 4x6, what do I want to call it? 4x6 containers in them. So this one right here is full of my, it's full of Project Life cards. So for the most part, it's got Allie Edwards, and I have them split up by either their theme or the month. You notice I have a lot of 2018 kits that I have not used yet. That's on purpose because I want to use them in that 2018 album because I have a lot of pictures to document and I figure that will work well. And then once I have them like mostly used up, they go into this mixed container in here. I can pop this open. And then on this side is all Ellie Studio. Now, I used to subscribe to Ellie Studio. I don't anymore, but I had a lot left over. So when I split them up, I split them by season. So I have spring, summer, fall, winter. And then after that, I did by color. So this is red, orange, yellow, green. This is blue, teal, pink, purple, black and white, multicolored. And then this one back here is Feed Your Craft. So it's a Feed Your Craft like mixed bag of journaling cards that I pull when I'm working on projects. Then I've got 2 more of these. This one right here is miscellaneous. So this has additional, like some additional kits that have not been broken apart. And then it's got like some random pictures in it. Yeah, that sort of thing. And then this third one is full of embellishments. And then I have them all in here by color. Let's see if I can. Okay, so like for example, this is all of the purple embellishments that I have in my stash. And these are all of the pink ones, which I have a lot of pink. So sometimes when I'm creating a spread, and usually with my 12 by 12 spreads, when I'm working on those, I can come in here and pick out embellishments based on their colors. So that's the embellishment. So I have an embellishment one. I have this miscellaneous one. Just shoves in there. I have this Project Life card one, which is typically my go-to. And then this last one right here, I'm probably going to get one to replace it because as you can see, all of these are gone. because we use them for Lego storage. So my plan is to get a new one of these and to use it for my ink pad storage. Because once you get them in here and set this thing upright, then my ink pads are stored upright, which is fine by me. So it's not like perfect, like they won't be like easily accessible on my desk, but that's still pretty easily accessible for me. And then they're put up and hard to get into. So that is my craft cabinet. Those are just older scrapbooks that don't really have anything in them. Okay, so then it closes up and everything's nice and put away. And then the last section, actually two, are my desk space and then this like built-in shelf unit. So my desk. I like to craft standing up. So this is a 2 foot by 4 foot folding table that just extends up, and this is my craft table. Like, it's a very small craft table, but it's okay. Ideal. And it's not pretty because it's a folding table, but you know what? It's all right. I'm okay. Underneath my table, I have another one of these 2 cube threshold shelves. The bottom section, I have a basket in there that holds all of my foam, like my craft foam. And then I have a couple of envelopes that hold cards to like go through when I need a card for somebody. And then the next shelf up is where I keep my other stamps. So that way they're super easy for me to get. So this one has all of my alphabets and numbers. They're all in here. I don't have a lot of them, so they fall down, but eventually they will stand up just like this one. And then this one is all of my Allie Edwards and Feed Your Craft. So I've got them in here like by month at first, and then it goes by alphabetical order for the kit. And then I've got Feed Your Craft back here. So typically when I am stamping, I will go to this one first, and then I'll go to the one in the closet. The one in the closet does have some specific ones like places and travel and that sort of thing. So there's that. Then up above there, I have this box. It's a 12 by 12 box from Hobby Lobby, and this is where I keep my scrap paper. So when I just need a scrap, I pull this guy out and leaf through it to see what I've got. And then over here, I've got this 3M hook on the side of my desk, and hanging off of that is this packet of alphabets. So this is all of my alphabet stickers. I just hole punch the top and I stick them on this ring like that, and they're in color order, and then they just clip onto the side of my table. So if I need it, I've got it. Then I've got this little locker shelf here. Under that, I've got this bin. This came from IKEA. And it's full of my scrap paper, and then it's got like my punches and my Tim Holtz tiny attacher, so that they are just really easily accessible when I'm working. This is a small container that I got from Michael's, and that's where I will put embellishments when I'm working on projects, is in that cup. I have a bunch of them. I just only have that one on this table. And then this is a little 2-tiered thing I found in the Target dollar spot. I just put the inks that I use on here. I've got my acrylic blocks are on here. My twines that I use are on here. And then on the top, I've got my roller date stamps, some Nouveau drops, my glue, and a 1-inch punch, because that one I use quite often. Some more twines. This is my stamp chamois, which is, look, it is so bad. I need a new one. Candle for ambiance, I guess. This is my bin of kits that I'm working with. So this could be my creative team kits, or it's like I've got Day in the Life back here that's just waiting. I've got one little word back here that's just waiting. But that's where I put my kits. Some of it is just empty envelopes. So when I need an envelope for something, I can just grab it out of there. That is the same container as the other one. Those are IKEA. Then I have yet another one of the plastic containers from Target from the bathroom section. Inside of this one, I've got my tape roller. I've got my score tapes. I've got tabs. I've got Velcro pieces, clips for whenever I need a clip to clip something. My Tonic 6-inch trimmer. This is just a jar that is full of backup adhesives, like my replacements. Then I've got my scrapbook.com like tower of inks, which will eventually go in the other container, but for now that's fine. This is just a mason jar that's full of my tools, so pens and pencils and scissors and all that. This is another jar that's got some other washi and clips and an eraser, stuff like that, that I will grab on a relatively normal basis. And then I've got my containers of small inks back here. So I have one that's archival and one that's Tim Holtz Distress inks. And that is pretty much my table. That I try to keep everything spaced to the back so that I can work on the front end. I do have these two little hexagon shelves. I found those at Hobby Lobby. So like one of them I have a bunch of old bags in, and this one has just got some supplies that I want to use on a project for Izzy. So it's just a placeholder for some ephemera. That is my collage from last year, and my one for this year is going to go right here. So that space will be filled in. And then the last thing is this shelf right here. This was built in before we moved in, so it worked really nice. So I've got my wide format printer down here. This is the only printer I have. So all of my photos I print on this printer. Next to that, I've got these 12 by 12 project envelopes. And this is where I put a lot of the projects that I'm working on. Like this is a 12 by 12 spread I want to make for Jonah. So that's in here. I will also put scrapbook collections. So what is that? That's like books. So for example, like this one has all of the Dear Lizzie New Day collection, which I have made stuff out of them. Here is a Felicity Jane paper collection. So I just kind of keep everything together until I've had a chance to use it, and then it will go into other containers. Or like I've got this container has stuff from Izzy's first dance recital. So I can make a project using that, and everything has a placeholder until I'm ready to use it. The shelf above that, I have a cutting board, or a self-healing mat, basically, one of my trimmers. This is my container for my numbers, which that's my hole punch. This is just a bin that holds all of my inks, and like, these are photos that I printed and didn't use. So these are the photos that Izzy gets to use. So that's hers. My numbers container is right here. So I'm able to separate out a majority of them. Like it's not perfect. If I wanted every number 1 through 31, I'd probably need 2 of these to store them all. So I've got 1 through 10, and then it goes like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, that sort of thing. And it works. It works really nice. It fits in here nice. I believe I got that at Hobby Lobby, but it could have been Michael's. I'm not exactly sure which one. So then, yeah, the basket full of inks. This is my 6 hole punch that I just have out at the ready. This is that long arm eyelet setter. It's just a date night jar that's full of popsicle sticks with ideas for date nights. So when we don't know what to do, we come and pull a stick. And then these are a couple more of my 6x8 albums. So this is One Little Word 2020. This is the Our Story, so like our family stories album. And this will be Day in the Life. It's empty right now. Then I've got 2 more of those 12 by 12 boxes from Hobby Lobby. This one is a project bin, so if I'm in process working on a project, I can just throw it in the bin and then it's picked up and off the table if we have guests over or anything like that. And then this one is full of all of my travel products. So it's got papers, embellishments, traveler's notebooks, that sort of stuff. So when I'm working on a travel project, I can just pull out this box and use that stuff. That is a frame that Izzy made for me, just fun. And then I've got my Silhouette Cameo cutting machine up here with a couple of sticky pads underneath it. This is where I store all of my paper. So I've got regular paper, I've got cardstock and sticker paper and vellum and watercolor paper and all the paper. And then up here is laminating pouches and all of my photo papers. So my 8.5 by 11 and my 4 by 6. This is a binder that I purchased to do some creative memory keeping. And then these are just magazines for One Little Word. So I think that covers all of that. All right, you guys. So there you have it. There is my craft space. I'm hoping I was able to give you a pretty good bird's eye view of the space that I'm working in, what it looks like and how it functions, or to give you guys some inspiration on how to work in a small craft area or a shared space like I do. If you guys have any specific questions about how I'm organizing something or the products that I'm using or anything like that, feel free to ask me. I am happy to answer those questions as best I can. And who knows, maybe in the future I can do some more in-depth organizational videos for you guys to offer some more inspiration in that area. So for now, that does it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe so you can see all my future crafty videos. Until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.